Hey, Diane R. here. I'm going to show you how to make 100% whole wheat pita bread using the dough cycle on a bread machine. Let's get started. Start by adding a 1.25 cups of water at room temperature. One and a half teaspoons of salt. And by the way, you don't have to jot any of this down. I've put a copy of the recipe in the box below the video. You can copy and paste it into a document file and save it. That way you can concentrate on watching the video. Next, add 1 tablespoon of sugar, 2¼ teaspoons of yeast, 2 tablespoons of oil, 2 heaping tablespoons of gluten. The gluten is important because we're using whole wheat flour, and whole wheat flour doesn't have very much gluten in it. And if you don't have enough gluten, then the pita pockets won't rise. It's the same thing with bread also. If you're using whole wheat bread, you need to add gluten to it. And the last thing that we will add is 3 cups of whole wheat flour. I use the white whole wheat flour. It's made from white wheat. You can find that at almost any big box grocery store. If you use red wheat flour, your pitas will be more grainy and a little stronger tasting. Set your bread machine to the dough pasta cycle. On most bread machines that should be 1 hour and 30 minutes. And then press start. The first 5 minutes of the dough cycle are critical. I found that bread machines don't do a very good job at mixing all the ingredients into the dough ball. So I stop the machine after a minute or two, and I use my finger to scrape any dough that may be on the walls of the bread pan. At this time, I also monitor the wet or dryness of the dough ball. It takes a little bit of experience, but after a while you'll know whether you need to add any flour or water. If you have the correct amount of moisture, your dough ball should look something like this one. Now you can see that it's just a little bit tacky. After you're satisfied that you have the proper moisture content, restart the machine and set a timer for 1.5 hours and come back. I bake my pitas on a 18 by 18 inch terracotta tile. You could also use a pizza stone. I had tried baking them on a cookie sheet, but didn't have any success on getting them to puff up. After the dough cycle is complete, put the dough onto a floured surface and then punch it down. and cut it into nine pieces. Shape the 9 pieces into balls. After you've rolled out your 9 dough balls, cover them with a damp towel and let them rest for 20 minutes. Also at this time, put your baking stone or a terracotta tile into your oven and set the temperature for 400 degrees. The idea is to get the pizza stone or the tile up to temperature. After the dough has rested for 20 minutes, uncover your dough balls and roll them out onto a floured surface. You want to make about 6-inch circles. They should look like that. After you've rolled out your dough balls into 6-inch circles, it's time to bake them. I toss the pitas onto the terracotta tile and set a timer for 3 minutes. After 3 to 4 minutes, they should be done and they should look like this. If they don't open all the way, in other words, they look like this, they have a partial bubble, what you can do is you can cut in half. And then if you just take a sharp knife, you can usually make a little cut and pry the rest of the pocket open. Just like that. Alright, and that's all there is to it. Thanks for watching.